Hello, this is the Reverend Dr. David Chotka of Spirit Equipped Ministries. I want to share a story with you because it proves experientially that the Bible actually has application in real life, and it's true. You probably know this Bible verse from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened. It's a famous passage. We quote it all the time. And then we struggle to know whether or not it's true. The Bible also says this, and I'm going to read to you from 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. This is God talking to a nation that is having a temple built. If I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or if I command the locust to devour the land, and my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. That was a great promise made to King Solomon in the Old Testament. Now, something like this happened in the state of Minnesota way back in 1877. Now, this event was recorded in local newspapers and in magazine articles. In fact, the governor of the state wound up getting into terrific trouble because he did this action until the answer came, and then he was praised for taking the step. Now, in that era, as you can well imagine, the economy was entirely based on agriculture, and the year before the crop had gone through a terrible ravaging. You see, grasshoppers, called locusts in the Bible, had descended on the crop as it was about to be harvested. It very nearly destroyed the entire Minnesota economy, eating up huge swaths of all of the crop. Some people very nearly lost everything, and most were brought to a razor-thin margin of just barely being able to get by. Now, farmers knew that these kinds of things came in waves and cycles, and they were afraid that the grasshoppers might return, and in the next year, when they were just barely able to eke out existence, that they would be pushed to ruin, or some of them might even starve. Now, that situation was so very serious that the governor, John S. Pillsbury, yes, the founder of the Pillsbury Company, took the unusual step of proclaiming a statewide day of prayer and fasting. The edict indicated that on April the 26th, 1877, every business, every shop, every school, every office close to seek the mercy of heaven on their state to stop the grasshoppers from returning to ravage the crop coming up that year. Every man, woman, and child in the state was urged in that proclamation to ask the Lord of heaven and earth to have mercy upon their state to prevent that terrible scourge from returning. And in that era, in that moment of history, the population listened. On that day, every office, every school, every store, every business, every form of work was shut down as people went to their local churches or schools or whatever area they could gather in. And if they couldn't do that, they went to their homes to pray, imploring the Lord God of heaven for mercy on their state. The records record that on that day that a holy hush fell over all of Minnesota. Now, the next day dawned bright and clear. And an unusual thing happened for April the 28th. Temperatures soared to the equivalent of midsummer heat, up in the 80s Fahrenheit, something quite odd for April in Minnesota. Everyone was devastated as they discovered billions of grasshopper larvae wriggling to life because of that heat. For 3 days and nights, that unusual heat persisted, and the larvae hatched out. It appeared that it wouldn't be long before they would start feeding on the winter wheat that had just come up out of the ground. On the 4th day, however, the temperatures plummeted to well below freezing, and that night a very harsh killing frost covered the earth. That frost was so severe that it killed every single one of the grasshopper larvae as surely as if poison or fire had been used on them. Grateful farmers in Minnesota never forgot that day. It went down in the history of that state as the day that God answered prayer. Isn't that a great story? It's a true one, recorded not only in the annals of the faithful, but also in secular media that weren't inclined to pay attention to what was happening in churches. Why am I telling you this story? It's to assure you that the word of the Lord is true. And if we take the principles that are found in it and start to apply it, God himself will answer. God pays heed when we take his word and live it as far as we know it. This is the Reverend Dr. David Chotka speaking to you for Spirit Equipped Ministries. If you'd like to continue to receive notices of blogs, go down to the bottom of the Spirit Equipped webpage. Sign up at the opt-in section and you'll be sent a notice every time one of these blogs happen. You can do the same thing with Spirit Equipped Ministries on YouTube. May the Lord bless you. Have a great day.